That exchange between you and Doug Ford got pretty tense, and you guys have been friends for quite a while. How do you feel about Doug attacking you over the patient ombudsman job?
Well, I wasn't very happy about it because it was actually not true. So I felt that I had to correct the situation and tell him how it actually happened, that it was a selection that was made by an independent group of people who interviewed me and many other people. And I was very proud to serve as patient ombudsman and to work with patients and families and continue my public service in that way. Well, it means more than just saying yourself that you've cleared your name. That's up to other people to determine, and it would be determined if Patrick had stayed on. He had been cleared by the committee that makes those decisions, and so it would have been up to the membership to decide if he'd cleared his name. But I think that there are other things. I know Patrick is continuing to work on that, and that that decision will be made if and when he does clear his name objectively, before the next election.
What's your standard for determining that? What are you looking for?
Well, I think there has to be some objective evidence there. It can't just be that he says that it was all wrong and all false. There has to be some evidence. There, I know, had been some evidence that the facts weren't as they were originally stated by the complainants. He did go through a lie detector test and other things. I don't know if there's other work that he needs to do, but I know that's how he's planning on spending his time right now and being with his family, who's been very upset by the stress of all of this.
Does he have to clear his name from the Integrity Commissioner complaint and the Hamilton West Ancaster Dundas issue and inflating membership numbers, all those other accusations against him, where he got the $375,000 to, pay for his house?
Well, there are a lot of issues that are out there, and it's going to be up to other third parties that are going to make those determinations. There are several things that are before the police. I guess they'll make their own determination. Before the Integrity and Ethics Commissioner, they will make their own determination. And then the issue with the alleged misconduct, I know that Patrick is continuing to work on that.
A lot of issue with Tanya's comments about ripping turbines out of the ground. What do you think those comments that she made say about her competency to run the province?
Well, I think it's way too simplistic. You can't just pluck wind turbines out of the ground. In many cases, they were placed there by farmers on their land. The farmers had gone into a lot of debt. They've gone to the bank to borrow the money. They have contracts that are going to allow them to receive some money back in terms of the energy that's being produced. So I think that it's way too simplistic to take that approach. I live in the real world. It's much more difficult than that to do. But I think as far as the very large multi-million-dollar contracts, as far as they're concerned, I definitely think that we should go through each and every one of them, look at them individually to see if they can be terminated early or not expanded. But you can't just say, let's rip up the contracts, because in many cases, remember the gas plant scandal, when they determined that they weren't going to proceed with them, we ended up with $1 billion. So in many cases, if you rip the contracts up, the costs are going to be greater than if you proceeded with them. So you need to be realistic about what can actually happen here, and you need to do the due diligence and hard work to understand each contract on its own merits or lack of merits.
Christine, going back to the Doug Ford comments, Ford is obviously pursuing the agenda of respect for taxpayers. And then when he brings up the fact that you were taking a $220,000 job from the Wynne Liberals, do you think that, rightly or wrongly, this hurts your street cred with fiscal conservatives?
Not at all. Not at all. I think maybe Doug misunderstands what the job of an ombudsman is. The job of an ombudsman is really to call the government into account and often be critical of the government. That's the job that I was hired to do, and that's the work that I did. I was serving the public in the job that I was doing, working with patients and families and healthcare providers to make our healthcare system stronger.
Hey folks, have you heard the news? The Rebel has a brand new app. Download that app and take the Rebel wherever you go.